We all hate being rushed, but this is why it's so important to make sure you check the time before you go and buy something. Or if you're going to purchase something. Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. And today in this video, I'm going to do one of my favorite videos, which is coffee and story time. And today's coffee and story time is going to be a story about the time my friend was rushed when she was buying something and she wasn't too happy about it. So this is a story just about a time when my friend was paying for something at a store and she was taking a while because I think she was counting her money, and she was taking a while because she was I think she was paying in quarters or something, and then we were kind of rushing her because she was buying something at the last minute before everybody was getting on the bus. It happens, but we all just have to remember to look at the times before buying stuff. So this is a story just to let you guys know, if you're making a purchase, it's always, and you have somewhere you have to be, it's always kind of good to check the time before you go and buy. I apologize, my camera got cut off because my mom just called me and it stopped recording. So anyway, so this is a story just to let you guys know that if you're going shopping and you don't have a lot of time to buy something, because purchasing things takes kind of a while because they have to ring you up, they have to add up the total and the tax, and they also have to kind of make sure you give them the right amount of money or give you the right amount of change back and everything. So this is a story just about one time when my friend was buying something and she kind of was buying it at last minute, and she was already in line and she wasn't too happy when we rushed her to buy her thing she was buying. And we had to explain to her that we were on a time frame, and she maybe should have bought something a couple minutes earlier instead of waiting until the last minute. So this is a story just to let you guys know that if you're gonna buy something and you're on a time frame, you kind of have to go quickly, because buying stuff takes a while because they have to ring you up, they have to count your money to make sure you give them the right exact amount of money, or it's just a really good idea to make sure you count it out before buying stuff. But sometimes it's good to have someone help you if you're not the best at counting your change. I'm still not the best at counting my change, and I'm still working on that myself. And so just to let you guys know that if you're buying something, it's good to count your money ahead of time before you get to the register, so then you don't have to count it, because just in case it takes you a while, and if you're on a time frame. So I'm going to get started, and I hope you guys like the video. So this all started, I think, maybe about 9 years ago. I was out with my friends one day. We had finished volunteering at a local senior center. It was me, and I think 3 of my friends that day. It was me, shop 4. Shop 4, which I decided to name one of my friends because she was shopping. And then it was another friend of mine, and we had a supervisor. So I think it was 4 of us that day, because we had a supervisor because we were volunteering for the local senior center for a local program, because that's what we did, was we went out and did volunteer sites. And so we were hanging out at the local park and having a good day. We had just finished volunteering, and it was a crazy busy day that day because we had to run back and forth serving lunches to people. And it was just crazy because it was one of those days where they had bingo days, and bingo days are very crazy because there's a lot of seniors who like to play bingo. So we were just super busy running back and forth, like picking up tickets for the senior center and everything, and like serving lunches to everybody, and this and that and this and that and this and that, and it was just like really crazy. So we did have a little bit of time to spare after the senior center, so we decided to go sit down and start eating our lunches. I think I went and bought lunch that day. I think I got chili cheese fries and a raspberry iced tea, my usual, at a local restaurant. And then my other two friends had brought their lunches. So we were eating our lunches and everything goes pretty well. And then Shop 4 wants to go to the local thrift store to look around because we had some extra time to spare. And I thought that was a pretty good idea to go to the store. So we go to the nearest thrift store, which is like kind of like down the street from the local park. And so we go inside, and it was a very small thrift store. And so we are looking around the store, and we're having a pretty good time, and everything goes well, and it helps us kill the time before we have to leave to get on our bus. So then all of a sudden, it's almost time. It's about 2 minutes before we have to go to catch our bus. And then Shop 4 decides to go and buy something, and she's grabbing like the stuffed animal she had bought, and then she starts paying for it, and then she's like dumping out her quarters, and she's trying to count her quarters to make sure she has enough to buy the stuffed animal. And the supervisor's like, Shop 4, what are you doing? She goes, I'm buying something right now. And the supervisor's like, Shop 4, we have to go, blah, 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 blah. So Shop 4 has to kind of like hurry. She starts scrambling her money and counting it as quickly as she can, because the supervisor's kind of rushing Shop 4, and Shop 4 isn't too happy about this. And so, sorry, I had to take a sip of my coffee. But anyway, Shop 4 is not too happy about this because she's being rushed, and she doesn't like being rushed. So she kind of quickly starts counting her money at the counter, because she didn't count it before because she didn't count it ahead of time, and she's like rushing to count it. And then so she gets the right change out, because she brought like a whole bunch of quarters instead of cash. And so she gets the right money out, not the right change, the right amount of money out, and then gives it to the cashier, and then he gives her change back, and then she grabs her stuffed animal, and then we have to kind of rush her out of the store because it was time to go. So Shop 4 isn't too happy that she was rushed, and the supervisor explained to her like, well, we had said we were on a time frame, and you decided to buy something at the last minute when it was time for us to go, and blah, 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 blah. And we're sorry we had to rush you, but it's good, but you didn't look at the time beforehand, and blah, 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 blah. So Shop 4 understands us and apologizes for making us almost miss the bus. And we were super nice about it because I could totally see her situation, because I've definitely done that before. I've accidentally forgot to check the time before buying stuff, and I was late for things. But it just happens. I mean, sometimes it just like there's long lines. Sometimes the person takes a while to count their change, or sometimes there's a new employee that's not used to the system, and blah, 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 blah. So it just happens. I mean, it just happens. And we were just all super nice about it, because I totally could see Shop 4's situation and everything, and how that could happen. And so Shop 4 feels much better once we get on the bus, and then we decide to like let go of what happened, so then she doesn't have it on her chest for the rest of the bus ride or get irritated, which I thought was a good thing. And I complimented on her stuffed animal of how it was cute, and it did make her smile. So the moral of the story is, when you're buying stuff and you're on a time frame, it's always good to make sure you check the time before you go buy something, because purchasing stuff is quite a process, because they have to ring out your item, they have to add up the tax and everything, and it just gets very busy sometimes, because it just happens. I mean, it's like some employees take a while when they're ringing people up and adding up the tax and stuff, and then you have to count your money to make sure you have enough. So a good tip is, before you buy something, is maybe count your money ahead of time after you check the price, because you don't want to count your money at the register, because it may take you a while, or you may end up keeping a bunch of people behind you, which is never a good thing. So just keep in mind, maybe count your money ahead of time before you go shopping, because you don't want to count it at the register, because you don't want to hold up a line, or you don't want people to get angry with you. So just keep that in mind, that when you're buying stuff to maybe count your money ahead of time. So that was the story about how we had to rush my friend to buy something. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!